Well, it's Monday. We've got lots of email questions from you regarding your finances, and so let's start.
Well, let's go for it. All right.
This is Sam, who says, my son really wants to go to college this fall. I told him he'll probably have to work full-time while he's going to school to help pay for the degree. Do you think a kid should work in college?
Yes and no. I think if he's going to have any time to study, he can't be, working full-time.
College is work.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to spend some time studying. That's why they go to school. Sometime in class, so that only leaves you time for a part-time job. Should kids work? Of course they should. There's nothing in the world wrong with that. And many of them do. There are jobs provided by universities and colleges. You can work in the bookstore, you can work in the cafeteria, you can work hither and yon. And these are, well, they call them work scholarships, but they're there for them. But should a kid work? Yes, nothing wrong with work, but just you can't have him totally occupied working. I mean, if he's going to get a degree in advanced economics, you don't want him pumping gas all day long in a filling station.
Exactly. Right. This is Adam, who says, I heard a report recently that said gambling online in the United States may possibly become legal. This regulation is estimated to bring the United States over $60 billion in tax revenue over the next 10 years. In your opinion, is this a good idea?
It's a terrible idea. Barney Frank, that paragon of virtue from Massachusetts, is recommending that we legalize online gambling. Gambling is an addiction. Gambling is every bit as pernicious as alcoholism, drug addiction, etc. And to think of somebody sitting in the privacy of his own living room or bedroom wasting the family money is just beyond belief. But to say it's going to make money for the government, it'll destroy the lives of people. I've heard of, that video poker.
Yes.
There was one woman in South Carolina who left her baby infant in a hot car while she got involved playing poker. I don't know if the child died or not, but it was a serious situation. And these people lose sight of everything except the next play. It's terrible, a terrible idea.
This is Charlie, who says, I'm thinking about putting most of my cash in Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac stock since the price of the shares is so low. Shouldn't the bailout help those stocks rise?
They have over $500 billion in subprime and Alt-A loans. They have all kinds of loans that are defaulting on them all the time. They are two sick companies that had to be taken over by the United States government. They were essentially bankrupt. No, don't put your money in those people. That'd be very foolish.
Right. Okay. This is Gary, who says, I'm 58 years old and I plan on retiring in 5 to 8 years. For asset allocation purposes, should I consider myself a short-term or long-term investor?
5 to 10 years, you're long-term. So play it that way. The thing of it is, within 6 months, 8 months, a year, 12 months, 24 months, etc., the stock market will not correct necessarily that fast, but over the normal cycle, 5 to 10 years, it'll correct. And so your essential allocation should be in stocks and what we'd call equities, in addition to fixed income. But that's how you make your allocation.
Okay, this is from Rochelle, who says, I'm one of 4 good friends who rent a house together. Last fall, one of the girls lost her job. She pays rent from her savings, but whenever we all go out, the other 3 of us always pick up her tab. She's not close to finding a new job, and this is getting expensive. When do you think we can stop?
Well, you can stop when you buy some groceries and let her eat at home. I mean, you go out, hey,
practical.
Well, a restaurant tab is sometimes $20, $25, $30, and that's high cost. It's terrible, but she needs to really get a job. And if she hadn't got a job, maybe she can work from home. There are all sorts of tasks that can be accomplished using a computer from the privacy of your own home. So I would encourage her to start doing something like that while she's waiting for something perhaps more rewarding by way of employment.
This is Lenny, who says, given the stock market's volatility, low interest rates and little mortgage interest to itemize on our next tax return, we were thinking that paying off our mortgage might be a good investment. How would it affect our credit score?
I don't think it's doing anything. Your credit score, you've paid off a bill, so big deal. But some of the things that they do with those credit scores, I can't figure out, and it really is illogical. So I won't pontificate on that particular thing. As far as paying off a mortgage, you got a low interest rate on your mortgage. You've got an interest rate of 4% or something like that. Why pay it off? If you can't take that money and find an investment that would bring you 6, 7%, 8%, 10%, you know. So I mean, that it has nothing to do with your credit score. What it has to do with is whether that's a smart investment. And with a high mortgage, 8, 9, 10% mortgage, of course it's smart to pay it off. Down lower, it's not.
Okay, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you for your questions.
All right, well, thank you very much for those questions. We appreciate. I got a book coming out, by the way.
I heard that. When is this due?
Well, it's due in a few weeks.
And the name is?
Right on the Money.
So those of you who send in your questions and would like to know more about what to do with your money, it's in the book.
Well, it's a practical guide to money management, household finance, starting a small business, you know, paying, how you allocate money in a budget and so forth. It's very practical.
Great. We'll look forward to it.
Amen.
And we'll be telling you how you can get a hold of it as well.